podcast, we're going to be writing the equations of parallel lines. I know it took us a while to graph. If you watched, of course you watched the last in your pod. So when you watched the last in your pod, it took us a little while to graph. This one's going to be a real quick lesson, right? Because we're just adding to something that we already know how to do, and that is to write the equation of a line, right? The only thing different is you're going to have to find your slope from the equation that you're given, but that's really easy because remember, there it is. Two lines are parallel if and only if they have the same slope. So all we have to do is identify the slope from our equation and just use that. So in a lot of ways, this is even easier than writing the equation of a line because sometimes you have to find the slope using the slope formula. The only thing you have to do to find the slope here is being able to identify the coefficient that's right in front of x. Right? So our slope, right, is just going to be, so first we have to identify the slope of the given equation, right? So our equation is negative 2/3, y equals negative 2/3 x plus 5. Our slope is just negative 2/3. Oh, it's so difficult, right? All right, and so now we're going to use the point that we're given. The point that we're given is 6, negative 2. And so we're going to write it in point slope form and slope intercept form, right? Both ways. All right, so for point slope, we just need to substitute this for x1, the 6, and the negative 2 for y1. So we have y minus a negative 2 is equal to negative 2/3 x minus 6. Right? Remember, the negative goes with the equation, right? So if the value is negative, then we have a minus a negative. We have two negatives. That becomes a plus. So y plus 2 equals negative 2/3 times x minus 6. We'll distribute the negative 2/3. Right, so now maybe you can't multiply negative 2/3 times negative 6 in your head. That's okay. Just put it off to the side. It's not required to reduce first, but if you reduce first, you'll have smaller numbers to multiply, and you won't have to reduce at the end. Right? So I know, and so we can cross-reduce, right, when you multiply. So both 3 and negative 6 are divisible by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. Negative 6 divided by 3 is negative 2. And so that's going to give us negative 4. So I will just replace and put a negative 4 here. Oops, so we had a negative. I have two negatives. I'm sorry. I have two negatives. I almost didn't notice negative 2. Negative 2 times negative 2/3 times negative 6. Right? That's going to be negative 2 times negative 2. Sorry, positive 4. Those are two negatives there. Right, so now all we have to do is subtract 2 from both sides. Y is equal to negative 2/3 x plus 2. And so there we have it in point slope. Right? I'll put PS and slope intercept and SI. Right? And that's all there is to it. Right? So it's just like writing the equation of a line from point slope to slope intercept form, except you just have to look at the equation and remember that parallel lines have the same slope. I think I have maybe 3 examples on this, or 3 more examples. All right, let's look at this one. Two lines are parallel if and only if they have the same slope. What's an equation of the line that passes through the point 5, 12 and is parallel to the line whose equation is y equals 4x plus 7. So remember, parallel lines have the same slope. Our slope is 4. So now all we have to do is plug in y minus 12 equals 4 times x minus 5. We'll distribute. Y minus 12 equals 4x minus 20, and then add 12 to both sides. So 12 to both sides. Y is equal to 4x minus 8, and there we're done. So here is point slope, and here is slope intercept form. And remember to fill in your notes as you're going along here. And if you need to, pause me, and then let's start me right back up again when you're done. All right. Let's look at this one. Two lines are parallel if and only if they have the same slope. What's the equation of a line that passes through the point negative 4, 5? That's our point. and is parallel to the line whose equation is negative 3x plus 2y equals negative 1. Well, now I just can't underline something because my given equation is not in slope-intercept form. So we need to put the given equation into slope-intercept form. Right, so we have negative 3x plus 2y equals negative 1. We'll add 3x to both sides. So we have 2y equals 3x minus 1, and then just divide everything by 2. And that gives us y is equal to 3 halves x minus 1 half. And so now we know our slope. Our slope is 3 halves. So we got our slope, we have our point, and move that over just a little bit, and now we'll just plug in. So we have y minus 5 equals 3 halves x minus a negative 4. Let's simplify out that minus a negative 4. So y minus 5 equals 3 halves x, 3 halves times x plus 4. So multiplying x by 3 halves, super easy. If you have any trouble multiplying 3 halves by 4, write it off to the side. Again, I could reduce here, right? So we can cross reduce. These are both divisible by 2, right? So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So 3 times 2 is 6. Right? So 3 halves times 4, that was 6. And now all we have to do is add 5 to both sides, and our equation is now in slope-intercept form. Up here it was in point-slope, PS, and now slope-intercept, y equals 3 halves x plus 11. Right? And this one is done. And I think this is my last one. It is. All right, so let's write the equation of this one. And again, we're not in slope-intercept form. Two lines are parallel if and only if they have the same slope. What's an equation of a line that passes through the point 5, negative 2, and is parallel to the line whose equation is 9x minus 3y equals 12? Let's put the equation into slope-intercept form. So first put equation into slope-intercept form. Did I ever have a number 2 on that, or on the last one, or did I just write 1? And then I didn't bother to write the 2 part, and the 2 part was find the slope. We'll write it up here. Find the slope. Right, so this is all the 1 part, and then right here is the 2 part. This time I'll remember to write it before I start doing it. So then we'll identify the slope. Sometimes my letters like to just connect funny. All right, so we have 9x minus 3y equals 12. We need to move the 9x to the other side by subtracting. So now we have negative 3y. Now I'll put it over here. Negative 3y, don't forget the negative, is equal to negative 9x plus 12. And so now we just have to divide everything by negative 3. You know, I could really appreciate more space. I've got all that space there, just white space. And now I would not have to crowd over where I'm trying to write the equations in point-slope form. All right, so we subtracted the 9x. This is negative 3y is equal to negative 9x plus 12. So now we'll just divide everything by negative 3. So we have y is equal to positive 3x, right? Negative 9 divided by negative 3, positive 3x minus 4. And right here is our slope, right? 3. All right, so we've got the slope, We have our point. Let's write our equation in point slope form, and then we'll simplify. Over just a little bit. All right, so we have y minus a negative 2 is equal to, that was positive 3 times x minus 5. We'll simplify the two negatives. That becomes y plus 2 equals 3 times x minus 5. Distribute the 3 to both sides. Y plus 2 equals 3x minus 15. And then all you have to do is subtract 2 from both sides. Y is equal to 3x minus 17. And so we have our equation in point slope and slope intercept. And that's it. We're done. All right, thanks for watching. So this one was a lot shorter, so it makes up for the one that's really long. Bye for now.